Hello, hello. We are back with another spooky, scary story from Reddit. So, this is from the user 1001 Nights. Interesting. And this is called The Rhododendrons. Once again, I have not read these. I have vaguely glanced at the very start of it, I do believe, and decided that it would be something that we could go for. So this is another one that was quite new, so it's only around about a week old on the website. Oh yeah, I remember why I chose this one. There's a child buried under the rhododendron bush in front of the blue house on the corner, right next to ours. No one knows who the child is. There aren't any records of a missing child in the neighbourhood. But everyone knows. In early summer, the pink blooms turn scarlet, and if you look at them in the sunlight like Tom has, you'll see some blood dripping. Stop it, Kenny, cried Rachel, interrupting the story Kenny was telling the group at the playground. School had closed early that day. The last day, and the kids were lounging in the playground, some waiting to be picked up, others not really wanting to go home. It was hot and nothing much was going on. All of them had large bags stuffed with school stuff. Scuffed notebooks, drawings, crooked crafts, and half-used and broken school supplies, the debris of a year, now scattered around the playground. Kenny jumped on the climbing frame and looked down at Tom, his younger brother. Why don't you go cut a flower and bring it back to us? If it's a lie. Tom frowned. Shut up, Kenny. He scraped his snickered foot in the rubbery pink playground gravel. Ken turned to the group, smiled wickedly. Tom has seen the child, haven't you? He wakes up crying every night. I said shut up. Tom lunged at his older brother, but Ken easily jumped to the next bar and just as easily shoved Tom down. It's a child, Mom! He squealed in a high voice, pretending to be Tom. Its throat is cut with garden shears, 2 slashes on its neck. It's stuck in the branches. Oh, Mommy, help! Tom picked up a handful of loose gravel and threw it at Kenny. Stop lying! Kenny retorted, if it's a lie and you're not scared of the bush, go cut some flowers and bring them back here. I dare you. The group fell silent. Then Rachel, who was in the same class as Kenny and sometimes babysat Tom, said, leave him alone, Kenny. Kenny snickered. The girl's sticking up for you, Tommy. Tom turned to Rachel. You shut up. You shut up too, he cried. Then he reached in his bag and pulled out a small pair of craft scissors with blunt tips. I will. Rachel, who had heard about the nightmare situation, grabbed his arm. Tom, you don't have to do that. Tom snatched his arm away. I can cut some stupid flowers, he yelled and stomped off. Rachel looked at Kenny. He shrugged. Minutes passed, nobody said much. Then Rachel stood up. I'm going after him, she announced, and left the playground. Then the children started walking towards the blue house with the rhododendron bush. They first saw Rachel standing very still in front of it. And then as they drew closer, they saw Tom stuck high up in the branches, amidst the heavy scarlet blooms, the sun gleaming on the blood dripping from the 2 deep gashes in his throat. And that's it. That's the whole story. I did not expect it to end there. So whatever was under there killed him too. Somebody commented, planting aggressive trees, bushes, shrubs under windows is common, like holly or roses, but now I'll be planting rhododendrons, trumpet flowers and castor bean plants. Keeps away all sorts of various pests. Fair enough. I don't know what to think of this one. I felt like we had such a big build up to nothing. Anyway, we have another reasonably short one. These all must have been really new. I obviously didn't need to scroll very far. So this is from the user? This one is from the user 0Rose05, the last train stop. I saw it. I don't know if you were there that day, but I was. I remember it so clearly. No one knows where it came from or how it even came to be. All we know is that it won't ever leave us. It's a part of us now. It's a part of how we live, and we just have to accept that. I saw it. The day it had arrived. It hasn't reached the surface yet, but it will soon. It's growing, spreading like a plague, infecting everything that it touches. The station had been flooded due to a busted pipe under the ground. The people who were down there started to panic and were piling onto the train trying to get away from the water. It was so packed there was no space to move. By then they hadn't even known it yet, but it was already with them by the time they had even got on board. It has taken over the train tunnels down below. The last train has closed its doors and has departed. There is no way that they can escape. It's inside the train with them. They cannot see it, but it is there. One by one it's taking over them, starting from the inside and clawing its way out. Turning them all inside out, growing and turning their limbs in ways that's not humanly possible. Distorting their figures. It was so loud I can still hear them. The sounds of their agony and pain being voiced all together as one, filling what was once the silence and calm of the train was replaced with an intense and breathtaking panic. People were now pushing, shoving and climbing on top of one another, doing their best to do whatever they could to get out, banging on the train's doors, begging to be let out, knowing that it is all in vain. You can't even tell that they are human anymore. There's nothing left of what they used to be. Their eyes are void and faces are permanently scarred with the emotion of fear plastered on each and every one of their faces. The last train has closed its doors. But even then, they're still trying to find an escape. They're starting to become one. It's bringing them together, connecting them by every limb on their bodies until they are all just one huge mound of flesh. We know they're down there. Everyone does. But we choose to act as if they don't exist, and in the beginning no one had gone in to help them. They were afraid. They were afraid that they might just end up like them, catching whatever it is that had entered the underground station that day. It's in the water. They have no idea, but now it's too late. There's nothing they can do. They're all still down there living, if that's what you can even call it. But now they all move together as one, roaming the miles and miles of darkness that lies beneath us. And from above will soon be the same. Wow, that is creepy as. What on earth took over them? It's like something from Stranger Things. That is going to be it for this video. I have some longer ones to do that I'll probably do just on their own. Some like really, really good. But yeah, if you have any that you want to share, send it to lindseysworld21@gmail.com, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.